We are back with round 5. I know you guys missed us, but don't worry. We would never leave you guys for too long. We are bringing you Inkling Technology at Purdue, which is a team that is based off of Purdue University versus, I believe this is called Iride, is how that is pronounced. We asked the team for clarification if it was Iride, but they said it was a ride, but they weren't sure what the letter was in English. So until further notice, we're going to call them a ride because that's what they typed out for us.
Alright, so apologies if we do butcher this name. We tried. But definitely, if anyone in chat knows, let us, and we'll do our best. Alright, so these two teams, I would say Inkling Technology at Purdue, definitely one of the well-known teams because they're, I would say, one of the two university teams that we have here for Splatoon.
Yeah, it's nice to see. I'm not totally familiar with their affiliation with Purdue, if the university itself actually sponsors them, but it's still nice to see a college-based team getting into Splatoon. Like you said, there's not many, if two at all, that are doing something like this. So, shout outs to Purdue for whatever they're doing. And it looks like Iride. Or is that like Air Ride? Should we just call this guy Team? Should we just call him Team Ride? Team Ride for now? Ride. Anyways, we're doing Clam Blitz at Port Mackerel, a map where if you get wiped, it takes a country mile to get back into the action.
Well, I don't know, Ponkon. I wouldn't say that. I would say if you get wiped, you better pray because if you get wiped there, you're gonna get scored on really quickly, and it's very difficult to come back.
Yes.
I would say beacons though. Beacons can be a very good pick here, and it looks like we do have a tent here, a brush, T-Tech, and charger on the side of Iride, and it looks like we got a more traditional comp here coming from Purdue. So we got the K-Shot, we got the Ink Armor, Junior, K-Pro, and the Heavy with Ray, which will be very helpful.
I believe Purdue is the team with the tent and the brush. Yes, they are. So Iride is the more traditional one. Traditional or not, we see Purdue looking to get their first push in with Baller coming from one side and Tent coming from another. A very nice pincer technique as they try, and Bubbles to follow that up as well, as they try to get their opening push in. They are popping it, and you see the brush there getting some clams in. So they're already under 60 points, and they look to get a little bit more as Iride is looking to get some get these flies out of their kitchen, so to speak.
All right, and it looks like that tent just doing such a good job maintaining, in a way, basically being what I call an annoyance, but definitely taking all the aggro on them. Now it looks like they are going to take it here to 26 before the basket close, which is a very strong push. But again, this is port. This is where you can get wiped one time, and as soon as that happens, you can lose lead very quickly.
Yes, absolutely. I do like the Stingray coming out for both sides here. That can be a very good initiation special, as well as used for defense on this long map. You can also kind of use it to force players to move to a certain direction as you see the missiles coming out, but no Stingray for the side of Iride to combine with those missiles.
Alright, looks like here is trying their best at least to maintain some map control, not get killed by that Ray. Now it looks like on the side of Purdue, they do have a special ready here with the tent, which are those bubbles. But they are holding it just to possibly use it for a push. Now it looks like they do get a pick here on the brush, but they do go down. And right now it's Purdue that has the majority of the control near Iride's basket. Right now they are sitting here at about 10 clams. They don't quite have that super yet, so they do need to hurry a little bit before they respawn.
Yes, as we approach about 2 minutes left to go here, you see Inkling Technology at Purdue trying to get another push going off here, is able to pop their basket, but with 3 players going down, and I believe the T-Tech just responded, they will accomplish nothing but to give Iride another Mercy Clam to work with, and with a Stingray to go, it looks like Iride is in a possible situation here where they could create a push and have enough clams to maybe not take the lead, but at least take a big dent out of the deficit that they find themselves in. As we see that Stingray coming out, however, the T-Tech going down as Purdue is able to shut down what could be another push here. A nice flank by the brush by Purdue. Ducky Kids able to get a kill on the brush. But not before the heavy does go down. And the clan economy, which was heavily in the favor of Iride, has now shifted back to Purdue, who once again breaks through the barrier. And if the brush is able to get a pick here, is not. So once again, another empty push for Purdue. But, as you saw there, Iride didn't pick up the Mercy Clam, so they won't get a second one out of that.
Alright, and YD Kids here just holding this left lane. They do have the Booyah. The missiles are coming in to go down on the side of Purdue, and it looks like this will be the first score here for Iride. Now, they still looks like they scored a second Super Clam, and they have additional clams. They could get this. They could get this back. They just need to maintain this control. They do not have any clams at the moment. Only one. Oh, they just made a super, but it was a little bit too late. Now, with 20 seconds, it is possible they may be able to get a second push, and it will be a bit difficult, especially with Purdue. They are on full defense mode right now.
And yes, with even though they weren't able to get that power clam in, the fact that they have it will force this overtime to happen. And I believe that is the Mercy Clam they picked up to work with. So even if they pop it, they still got about 7 more penalty points they'll have to eat through. As Stingrays are coming out, the Inkjet using here to defend, able to get an assist on the ball carrier, and a nice pick there by Mizzou to shut down what could have been their last chance to score. That ball will disappear, and with it, will the hopes of Iride winning that match, as game 1 will go to Purdue.
All right, and definitely what started as a very good start here for Purdue. Kudos to Iride, at least getting that very good push in, almost giving them, I would say, making them sweat a little bit. They definitely have to go full on defense towards the end, but definitely, like with Purdue, I would say that Tent just did so well with the brush and the bubble combo. So very strong comp for clams.
Yeah, and even though Purdue really only had one giant push there, but they were still able to slip past the defenses of Iride and keep the pressure in their base. They did pop 2 more times and didn't get any points out of it, but they at least kept pressure off of their basket and on the Iride side of the map. So now we move on to an absolutely ugly Splat Zones map here at Black Belly. Honestly, if you play X-Splosh, it's kind of fun, in my opinion, but I don't know if we'll see that coming out from either side.
And I would say for one spot gun. I'm just kidding. I this map, I personally don't like it very much, even though I used to love this in Splatoon 1. But I think most competitive players, what they dislike about this map, it's very close quarters. It is a double zone map, so double zone maps take a lot more coordination, and on top of that, it's a circular map, so a lot of flanks, a lot of stuff going on. You can go, you can wipe 3 people and then get flanked and get counter wiped, so it's a lot to take in. But I think it would be a good match to see what happens. I'm not sure they're going to bring back the Tent. Tent is something that you don't normally see on this map, but I feel like it could do well, especially with the bubbles. And like you said, X-Splosh, I think, is something that they may use.
Well, both teams have readied up, so we will see very quickly what kind of weapons they will be bringing out. Purdue won the first games, and we do see an X-Splosh coming out for the side of Purdue. Are they listening in on the stream? What's going on here? And a Tri-Slosher coming out for both teams. The Armor one coming out for Purdue, the Rain one coming out for Iride.
And I would say Brush and Try are very good for this map just because they can get through it quickly. And Try has become a very good favorite on this map, especially with the recent buff. It is almost entirely, it feels like a new weapon. It's just so good right now. So very nice to see that. With all these ledges, it's a pretty good weapon choice for zones. Now, looks like Purdue, they do have the zone. There are a few people they're fighting off here mid, but they do go down. Aster here is just watching that left zone, putting down ink mines. They do go down. Very nice pick from Red, and they do have a Booyah ready, which they will use here.
Yeah, if you're Iride, the one thing you don't want to do is let the X-Splosh get comfortable up on that tower. As you see, they were trying to use the Booyah to knock them off there, but Purdue doing a good job of keeping the pressure away from the X-Splosh, trying to keep the fight up in front of the zones. But Red able to get yet another good pick on a player that was pushing up, but can they capitalize off of that? Is Red trying to get yet a second pick, but if they don't get this pick quickly, as two players do go down, this could be a very quick KO for Purdue, and with basically a wipe, Purdue takes control and wins 2-0 in this play all three. So a very nice win for Purdue there.
Very nice. Now, if you notice what Purdue ended up doing here, they not only maintained zone, but they didn't fully push up into the enemy base. They didn't overextend, and I think that's what helped them. They actually, in the way, cut that line of what we call the enemy T, and pretty much anyone that was right there that wasn't the back line, they got wiped. So very good play from Purdue.
Yeah, if you're Iride, you just couldn't find a way to get comfortable there. But we still have one more game to go in this play all three. It's going to be Triggerfish at Rainmaker. I think we might see the tent come back out here for Purdue. But I think we'll definitely see some Stingrays coming out from both teams on this map and mode in particular, for sure.
And do you know what's the best way to counter a tent?
Run away from it.
That and Stingray 'em. So I have a feeling we probably will see a Stingray or two. Especially with tent being such a strong weapon in Triggerfish. I know I see it more in zones, but Rainmaker, it's especially if you're trying to push. If you push both through the front or through what we call like the backside or bridge, it could be pretty strong. As long as they stick next to the Rainmaker, it definitely takes a little bit of coordination and teamwork. But it is a high possibility we'll be seeing that tent come back.
Purdue readied up pretty quickly until one player decided to change something here. I guess it is kind of worth noting this is round 5 of 6. Last tournament there were 7 rounds, but things tended to drag on just a bit. So after this next round, we will be moving on to Top Cut. But for now, we are moving on to Rainmaker at Triggerfish as the teams have finally readied up.
Alright, so it looks like, I believe we see a Sploosh 7 here on the side of Purdue. Now, this is one of the maps where the pop is not entirely super important. It does give you a little bit of an early advantage, but not as much as in smaller maps. Of course, we do see that tent come back, but they do go down. So it's a 3v3 situation right now in mid. No one has picked up the Rainmaker. A lot of bomb pressure going on.
Yes, it's a very careful fight for mid right now, as you see Iride taking control of the Rainmaker and taking it the safe route to the left, away from all the pressure that was going on in the mid. So, but you see both Stingrays are going to be coming out from both teams, or at least from Purdue's coming out first, but the Hammer able to get the kill, and that's actually going to be a wipe on the side of Iride, as the Hammer is pushing all the way up to the enemy spawn. Doesn't quite get the cheesy kill with the Hammer toss there, but still in control of mid. And if you're Purdue, you're probably thinking about going... Oh, you're going left. Okay. I guess it just kind of dawned on me. They have a double Hammer comp as well.
And I would say that they're coordinating that double hammer very well. Now Sploosh gets it very easily. That Sploosh earlier did go down when Iride was pushing, but with the coordination intense. And actually, that is a strat. I don't know if anyone has seen Kiver's strat where you actually keep on pressing that button and it actually can speed it up a little bit. But there is the KO here on the side of Purdue. So congrats to them. They did take the set 3-0. But that's another little tip there. If you ever follow Kiver's stream or his Twitter, you can somewhat speed up the Rainmaker that way by just holding VR slightly.
I wonder if our old pal Magic taught him that trick over there. That seemed like that was a pretty advanced trick, and it's nice to see in the lower level tournament such as this one. So very impressive, Purdue. And for Iride, there's still one more round left to play. I don't know if either one of these teams are a threat to make top cut, but still some more experience to be gained by both teams there. We're going to take a short break and come back to you with round 6, the final round of Switch. You are watching the Low Ink tournament.